Yo, what's up? Y'all already know this is Ricky the Gucci, aka ElJefe312 from Rackham Entertainment. I'm the president, and you're right here tuned with Chicago Street TV.
Aquí en Chicago esas ramas las conocen, a veces calmados, a veces de mente, pero cuando es tiempo de poner la frente, no se los hace chiquita y al brinco siempre. Haha, you already know, it's Rackham Entertainment for life, baby. We coming for ours. Pura ganga shit.
You want to let the audience know what part of Chicago you're from?
I'm from Bryant Park.
And for the people who ain't from Chicago, you want to describe to them what that neighborhood is like?
Bryant Park is on the other side of, it's in between Gage Park, Pilsen, Little Village, and McKinley. It's like right in the middle. It's a tough neighborhood because everybody goes through there, so there's always beefs going on, like, and you don't know where it's coming from. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's a crazy neighborhood.
So what was it like growing up, and what is Bryant Park now, what it is today?
So when I moved to Bryant Park, it was still a, like, mostly Caucasian neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? It was, Lithuanians or something, Polish, a lot of Polish people there. So we started moving in, and you know what I'm saying? And I was like one of the first Latinos on the block, and the whole community changed. The other side, I lived on Mozart, the other side of California, between Western, back of the yards, that was already, you know, there was a lot of Latinos there. But when I moved in over here, I moved in like in 93, like around 93, 94. So the neighborhood started changing, and as the neighborhood changes, the people in the neighborhood change, the gangs, the street gangs in the neighborhood changed, so it was kind of rough, little war zone for a little bit.
So what was it like for you in particular growing up in the 90s in the southwest, south side of Chicago?
Man, well, like I said, you got a lot of Latinos coming from everywhere, bro, you know what I'm saying? With the Polish, we didn't have beef, but within the Latinos coming from Pilsen, Latinos coming from everywhere, it's like, instead of sticking together, we started going at it with each other. So it's like, it kind of makes it tough though. If you can make it in Bryant Park, you can make it anywhere.
You want to let the audience know exactly what is Rackham Entertainment?
Rackham Entertainment is a movement, you know what I'm saying? And now the movement is growing. It's not just Rackham Entertainment now. We got other clubs that ride with us. And you know what I'm saying? Highway 55, TGC. Man, we got, what else? There's Street Beast, Traviesa Trucking, Gorilla Mob, you know what I'm saying? It's people from different neighborhoods. And we're trying to do something positive in Chicago. Like we're trying to do some type of community. Not everybody gets involved, but the ones that do get involved, we get to make noise out here. So, you know what I mean? It's a whole movement.
So what trucks or cars are usually involved in the car club?
Well, in the car club, in my car club is Rammers, but back in the days, bro, like in the 90s, anything was a Rammer. A minivan, anything was a Rammer. So you know what I'm saying? To say a Rammer is a bourbon or Rammer is a K5, everybody tries a bourbon because that's the biggest truck, but in reality, the K5s are the ones that, you know what I mean? I just call K5s the bourbon killers because, the K5s were smashing bourbons. And you know what I'm saying? But in reality, it's any car is a Rammer, anything, you know what I'm saying? But we're changing the narrative from the negative to a positive, you know what I'm saying? And I changed the gang culture into a Latino culture from Chicago, because now it's like, this is what we drive out here. Those are the whips we drive over here in Chicago.
So when did you exactly start Rackham Entertainment, and what made you want to start it?
I saw all the states, bro, LA, New York, Texas, how people unite because of the car culture. Our car culture out here, the reality is Rammers, you know what I'm saying? It's like, out here in the streets, it's like Chicago, all around here, it's Rammers, you know what I'm saying? The 90s was heavy, the 2000s danced out a little bit. I just try to bring the culture back, but in a positive way. Like, if them other states and other cities could do the culture, how come we can't do it out here in Chicago? Because these are the streets of Chicago use Rammers out here, you know what I mean? Those are our cars.
So I seen on your YouTube channel that you actually made an entire documentary when it comes to this Chicago movement that's going on with the Rammers. Do you want to talk about why it is that you made this documentary and exactly what it's about?
Because look, Chicago and other cities around Chicago know what a Rammer is, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the Midwest knows what a Rammer is. But if you go to New York, you go to LA, you go to Texas, if you're not from Chicago, got Chicago connections, they don't know what a Rammer is. So I just wanted to bring awareness to the culture in Chicago that we have out here in the streets, you know what I mean? And I did the documentary, and I do series like with other people that got different whips out here. And you know what I'm saying? Just show people's cars out here, people's whips out here, Tahoes, Suburbans, OBSs, new styles, Caprices, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm showing the whips we drive out here in Chicago.
So also digging through your YouTube channel, and I saw that you have a series called Rackham Entertainment Presents. You want to talk about what these video clips are that you have on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, this video, I go and check out a couple bourbons, you know, some of them are my members, but I try to go outside my club and like other guys, they got car clubs out here or truck clubs out here, they got whips and they want to get down, I'll do their car and show what we driving out here, their background, where they come from, what neighborhood they're from. Because out here in the truck community, it's like we from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? We from all over the city, like all over Chicago. We got people from, I got some guys from Allstate, bro, some good kids with rammers, you know what I'm saying? The college kids, and you know what I'm saying? They got rammers just because that's the culture out here.
So what year did you start Rackham Entertainment, and how does it feel to be part of a movement that you created that has never been done before here in the city of Chicago?
I started around, man, I think it must have been like around the thought of it. It was in Rackham before, you know what I'm saying? It was around 2017, 2018. And then once 2019 came, I started doing a documentary. I did a documentary and I said I had the idea, you know what I'm saying? How about we do the club? Everybody's like, you can't do a club, it's Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets along with nobody. Nobody does this. But little do they know that people that are in car clubs, some of them people are from other neighborhoods and they get along, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how come I can't bring that rammer, you know what I'm saying, that rammer scene to the city? And now it's like, you see rammers in other clubs now, you know what I mean? And it's like, we're the first rammer club, like official rammer club. Like I didn't put truck or car club or whatever. I put rammers club, so it's like, anything's a rammer, so anybody's welcome. You know what I'm saying? As long as you come positive, and you know what I'm saying, get along with everybody and enjoy the vibes out here, then we good. We do a lot of community stuff, and you know what I'm saying? And that's how it started. It started as a car club, truck club, whatever, rammer club, and it just turned into a movement.
I was also digging through your social media on Instagram and YouTube, and I noticed that you make a lot of comedy sketches. Do you want to elaborate what these sketches are and why it is that you do them?
No, it's because, look, you see, like, with the comedy, bro, over here as a Latino, whatever, or Chicagoan, a lot of us don't get a lot of awareness out here. You know what I'm saying? We are here in Chicago. People in LA think there's not that many Latinos out here in Chicago, but they're not making noise or whatever. And it's like, with the comedy, like, I'm not going to do some clown shit. I'm going to do some hood funny stuff, you know what I'm saying? And just bring awareness, make somebody laugh and be like, hey, there's Latinos out here in Chicago. There's people out here in Chicago. There's people out in the streets of Chicago, you know what I'm saying, doing, you know what I mean? It's not just black and Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? It's mixed over here, but it's like Chicago's a melting pot. There's everything out here.
Your content, is it just in English, or is it like Spanish, or do you do both?
It's in Spanglish, you know what I'm saying? I try to do both. The comedy ones I do with the skits, a little bit Spanish, a little bit English, you know what I'm saying? But it's mostly English, but I do Spanglish, and you know what I'm saying? I mix it up.
Do you want to let the audience know what part of Latin America is your family from?
My mom, she grew up in Pilsen. They're from San Luis and Zacatecas. My dad, his mom is from San Luis. My grandpa's Puerto Rican. He's from Salinas, Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's right there where it's mixed. You know what I'm saying? They grew up right here in Pilsen. And back in the days, it was Mexican, Puerto Rican, and everybody was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was mixing with each other. It still does.
Have you been to Mexico before?
Yeah, I lived in Mexico. I lived over there for like 3 years. That's why I got a little accent.
What part of Mexico did you live in, and what was the experience like living out there for 3 years?
I lived in San Luis, bro, in the Tias in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Since I was, you know, over here in Chicago, you're more hyper. You know what I'm saying? Over here in the city, you're more hyper, bro. I was a little troublemaker. I used to break dance out here back in the days. They sent me to Mexico. I didn't speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So they called me Pocho. So I thought they were calling me Pocha with something else. You know what I'm saying? It has a different meaning. So I kept fighting in school. Until I learned Spanish, then you know what I'm saying? I got the hang of it. Then they threw me in internado. It was like the Ari home. I was there for like a couple months. Came out, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm good. So now I need to put me in a Catholic school out there after that. And then we just came back over here. We went to Texas, and from Texas we came back over here.
About what ages were you out there for?
Man, I was in Mexico from, man, it had to be from like 8 to 11, 8 to 10.
Do you still go back to Mexico often?
My grandparents died, so I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go this year. Last year I went, I was like 5 years ago. I go to Cuba though. Cuba's, you know what I'm saying? You want to go visit somewhere and get lost, you know what I'm saying? Go to Cuba.
So I also noticed in your profile as well that you've been in movies and TV shows. Do you want to let us know which movies and TV shows it is that you've been part of?
Man, I was doing a lot of extra work. I was doing extra work in the Chicago series, you know what I'm saying? And I probably would have blew up more, you know what I'm saying? But I went back to the streets, you know what I'm saying? Some stupid stuff. And then they called me one time and they said, hey, we got a role for you. It was a speaking role. From extra, they offered me a speaking role. Once you get a speaking role, you know, you level up and you automatically go into the SAG. You got to pay union and all that. So I started with Let's Go to Prison. I was an extra there. Prison Break, I was extra there. Shameless, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. I got a couple roles in Chicago PD, speaking roles. And then I was in a couple movies, Nothing Like the Holidays with John Leguizamo. And then I was in SWAT in LA in the Mayans. I mean, I got a company over there called From the Streets to the Set. And when I was doing like protests over here, they came and backed me up. So when I go over there, they put me on.
What is it like working in these big time TV shows?
Man, at first it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm recording, looking at myself, and then what am I doing here? I don't belong here. But then it's like, nah, I'm right here. I'm where I'm supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Trying to like bring the streets to the set, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's crazy because some of the actors are cool, you know what I'm saying? You're sitting down with them, so they don't see you as an extra, you know what I'm saying? Extras like they see you as a fan or whatever, you know what I mean? But once you're in there sitting down at the table with them, it's like, what's up, bro? What's up? And just like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Just with a lot of money.
So doing TV shows out in LA and doing TV shows out here in the city of Chicago, is there a difference or is it all the same?
No, it's a big difference, bro. With the extras over here in Chicago, they get treated like the bottom, you know what I'm saying? In LA, it's like a whole different story. It's like everybody's on check. You're out there doing whatever I was out there in LA. I was doing extra work and I was doing whatever I wanted. I feel like one of the actors, I'll go to get the food at whatever they put there, whatever. Nobody was telling me nothing. Over here is like they want to have you in check. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's because there's no unity out here in the city. Out there, everybody's united. They got a bunch of unions, and they've been doing that for years. Chicago's barely turning into a film city. It's gonna be like the second Hollywood out here. If people get smart and get in it, you know what I mean?
So I also noticed that you appeared on a few TV news stations. Do you want to elaborate which TV news stations you appeared on and why it is that you appeared on those TV news stations?
Man, boy, I appeared in a bunch of them already, you know what I'm saying? Telemundo used to hit me up when I was out in the streets. When I was doing bad stuff, they used to hit me up and interview me about the violence in the neighborhood, about laws changing the neighborhood, about the gang book in the neighborhood, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They used to call me and come at me. Once I started the activism and started doing good stuff, they kind of started ignoring me. And I'm like, y'all rather have me doing bad stuff out there and come interview me. And now that I'm doing positive stuff, now you want to, you know what I'm saying? But I kept doing it over and over and over and over. So they had to notice me, you know what I'm saying? I was everywhere. I'm everywhere. Something happens to the community, something happens to the vendors, something happens to the streets. Even with the car races, I'm in the car scene. So I was getting hit left and right. So I was in CBS, WGN, Telemundo, Univision did a segment on my acting, you know what I'm saying? I came from the acting or whatever to now. And then, well, most of the channels out here, Channel 32, stuff like that, but mostly WGN and Univision.
So there's a lot of Chicago-based movies and TV shows out here. Why do you think in all these TV shows, Latinos are never mentioned or always underrepresented?
Well, that has to do with the castings, bro, you know what I'm saying? The casting company, the actors out here, like, we don't unite. If we unite out here, they can't, you know what I'm saying? They can't tell us what to do and not to do. See, it's in this business with the politicians, with Rami Emanuel, his brother is one of the main Hollywood big shots. So they got the 20% tax break. They use women, you know what I'm saying? But they bring women from New York, from all over the place, give them a driver's license out here, you know what I'm saying? But Latinos make the 33% of Chicago, you know what I'm saying? 33% of Chicago is Latinos. But if you see that on TV, you don't see it in you don't see it in TV, you don't see it in with the rappers, and you don't see it in the cannabis industry, bro. It's like we left behind, but it's because people don't unite and don't want to make noise. You make noise and, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll get represented, right?
Is there any music artists that you've collaborated with when it comes to Rackham Entertainment?
I collaborated with Jubal. He's a Dominican guy, the Dominican from Chirac. I know what I'm saying? Quinto Sol. Man, I know I had another few, you know what I'm saying? A couple of Spanish corrido ones, you know what I mean? Canny Caraballo, Puerto Rican guy, you know what I'm saying? Out here from Chicago. He, you know what I'm saying? We do a lot of music with him, you know what I mean? We do little drill corridos, we do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to, you know what I'm saying, expand, you know what I'm saying, and show. I'm just trying to bring awareness of Chicago, but put Chicago on the map because we get left behind. Everything is Texas, LA, New York, and us, bro, in the Midwest is like, bro, you know how much Latino rappers we got, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I fuck with some of them, and I, you know what I'm saying, even if they're from other neighborhoods, bro. Like Cato, he's from a different neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with his music, bro, you know what I mean? He's sending a message out here, And that's what a lot of these rappers gotta do, send a message out there. It's okay from being from your hood, being from your neighborhood, but at the same time, as a Latino, bro, you know what I'm saying? As a Chicagoan, you gotta collaborate with each other, bro, because you know what I'm saying? We get left behind, you know what I'm saying? They talk about drill music, the drill music, but before it was drill music, we had the gang anthems. But nobody talks about that, you know what I'm saying? From gang anthems, we would put in a little bit of trap, and all of a sudden, you know, it went to Mo, whatever his name is, and boom, the drill movement came out, and you know what I'm saying? Chief Keef, and boom.
So why do you think it's difficult for Latino rappers to come up in the rap game in general?
Because everybody comes from a different neighborhood, everybody wants to be hood, everybody wants to be street, bro, you know what I'm saying? Leave that shit behind, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a real one, bro, you don't got to prove to nobody where you from or where you come from, you know what I'm saying? All that gang stuff or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Put your city on. That's what you got to do. You unite, put your city on. But everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to say, don't fuck with him because he's from over there. Don't fuck with this guy because he's from over there. It's like, they're not going to move up, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to move up. And see, with other races, bro, they unite, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and they make noise, and everybody goes and follows one guy and says, boom, put him up there. With us, it's like we're competing with each other, and it shouldn't be that way, you know what I'm saying? We should put Chicago on the map, and you know what I'm saying? The Chicago streets out here is different. We're a whole different breed out here, but, you know what I mean? They don't see us. We got to unite and make noise.
So you touched upon the topic of why Chicago Latino rappers can't blow up, but let's say Texas, California, New York, Florida, this is where like majority of the well-known Latin artists are coming from. Why is it that they even themselves can't really get that much exposure? Even here in Chicago, we don't get any, but why do they get it compared to us?
They get it more because, you know what I'm saying, they're smaller over there, so there's no competition with them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, boy, if you look at all these other Latino rappers or look at the California, north side of California, bro, Chicago influences all of them, bro. If it's not the Latino ones out here, boy, it's the black artists over here, bro. They want to be like Little Dirk, they want to dress like Little BB, they want to just like, you know what I'm saying? All this op stuff or whatever, bro. If you look at the videos and look at how they used to rap back in the days, and how California is rapping now, how Texas is rapping now, you know what I'm saying? Some of them guys sound like the Chicago guys, bro. Even like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's why I don't get how come Chicago can't blow up when we influence all these other cities. At the end of the day, look at them and look at the music and the way they're sounding, but it's like, that's what this guy's from, you know what I'm saying? He's from Chicago, bro, you know what I mean?
So what was the experience like working with Latin Billboard artists like Quinto Sol? And being part of their music video, what was the experience like?
No, with Quinto Sol, I think you put me on with him, no? And I said, I think you put me on with Quinto Sol, bro. You know what I'm saying? He hit me up, he's cool, you know what I'm saying? He's a cool cat. He's about the raza, bro. He's about, you know what I'm saying? About, you know what I'm saying? His music is good, you know what I'm saying? He hits me up, and I put up with I think I put up with the MCs. I put up with the lowriders. I put up with the rammers, bro. That's just crazy, because that's, if you see his videos, bro, that's unity right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? You see our ways to walk on the streets of Chicago, bro, from the MC clubs to the lowrider clubs to the rammer clubs, bro, because it was just a rack, and it was other clubs too.
So going a little off topic, you want to let us know what was your first tattoo and how old you were when you got it?
Man, my first tattoo was Smile Not, Cry Later. I got the Cry Later one. I haven't put the other one on. And I think I was like 16. I was like 16. No, what? That was my first professional tattoo. My first tattoo was a Mexican flag right here, color baby blue. I don't know if you can see it. They scarred me up, bro. You know what I mean? So that was my first tattoo right there. Was for one of my guys, but his name was Johnny. And then the other guy, the other guy learned how to tattoo, so he tats me up now. You know what I'm saying? But that was one of his first tattoos, bro. And man, I was like 14, 15. It just got scarred up, so it was like, you know what I mean? I was always covered up. My first real tattoo was in the back. It was the Cry Later. And I remember I took my shirt off, and I'm looking at my mom, you know what I'm saying? And I forgot there was a mirror behind me. So she's looking at me, she looks at it's a big ass, you know what I'm saying? A big ass tattoo in the back. So she's looking at me like, man, you got beat up. What happened to you? Show me. And I'm like, nah. She goes, you got a violation? I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you stupid? I go, nah. And she's, you know what I'm saying? She's looking, trying to see it. She thought it was a bruise. She goes, what happened? Who beat you up? What happened? Woo. So I'm like, man, I'll show you. She showed me she's not going to get mad. So I show her. It's the Cry Later phase, bro. She starts crying to my grandma, talking about I got the devil tatted on me. My son this, ooh. She really knew what I was on, but she didn't think I was like, she always thought, you know what I'm saying, it's her baby or whatever. She didn't think I was out there like I was out there, you know what I mean? For her, I was like, she got a rude awakening until I got shot, you know what I mean?
Do you want to elaborate on that, of getting shot? And how many times have you gotten shot before?
How many times I got shot at, bro? I got shot at a shitload of times, but you know what I'm saying? If you're in Chicago, you already know it, you know what I'm saying? There's a few of us out here walking with bullet holes, you know what I'm saying? But man, I got shot about, man, I'm not even gonna lie, bro, it was about 30 times, you know what I'm saying? But I was out there.
So
But
you've been shot 30
shot at,
times?
shot
Oh,
at
okay.
like 30 times, you know what I'm saying? And that's, well, all the years I was out there, like 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it was hot years, sometimes, but I got hit one time. I got hit right here in the neck. It bounced off my sister pulled up to my mom's house. My mom lived in the corner, I lived in the middle of the block. I had my own apartment in the middle of the block. I was doing whatever I was doing. She pulls up, I go visit my mom. My sister pulls up, I say what's up to the guys. A car pulls up, and I'm talking shit to them, but they got a pregnant girl in the car. My ass trying to be funny, telling the girl, what's up, girl, jump out with a real gangster. And I'm like, damn, she pregnant, that's a free nut, you know what I'm saying? So I turn around laughing, like, ha, ha. And these guys are ducking, bro, so they're ducking. I look at them like, what the fuck? So I turn around, dude's out there with the gun already. He shoots at me, and it hits the door, and it ricochets. It goes in here, so I still got it right here. So when it went in my neck, I grabbed myself like this. My mom comes out. She's telling everybody, oh, my son's dead. They killed my son. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, I'm straight. I just got hit right here. So I had a rosary. I lift my shirt. The rosary falls in pieces. And I'm like this. And I could smell my skin. I could smell like, you know what I'm saying? It smells like burn, bro. Like, I'm like, what the hell? And then one guy walks up to me and says, you got shot in the neck. And I go like this. And I'm like, damn, I had a Cutlass Supreme. So I fell on top of the Cutlass. And then I'm like, my lung collapsed, so I couldn't breathe. Then I just fell on the floor. My mom's right there. You know, she was in front of my mom's house. So it's like, I traumatized them. I traumatized my brothers. My brother was coming out of the house when it was the last shot because he shot at me like 6 times, but only one hit me. So I'm hitting the street and you could hear the zoo, zoo, the bullets or whatever. And I see my brother come out and I just like look at him and I fall on top. He sees me on the floor and I'm like, bro, call the ambulance. Like, oh shit, you know what I mean? He was about 12 years old, bro, so he got a little traumatized. He didn't come out for a while, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
So when you got shot, did you go straight to the hospital?
No, I fell on the floor. And when I fell on the floor, it's crazy because the first car that passed by was a nurse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So she jumps out. She's telling me, where you get shot at? I got shot in my neck. So she's grabbing my neck and she's like, move your legs. I'm like, shit, I can move my legs. I'm good. And she's like, your bullet's right here. You good? You good? The ambulance came and you know what I'm saying? She took me.
So which hospital you?
Mount Sinai.
So how did they treat you right there at Mount Sinai?
Well, so I had a good job back in the day. I was working in City Hall, you know what I'm saying? And then I was working at the treasurer's office and shit. So I had insurance and shit. So they put me in there, but you go in there, I'm like with 6 guys, bro. Six. There's a dude shot up from back of the yards. There's a dude that got ran over here. A van went through his neck. Damn. So I'm right here with a bunch. There was a chinito nurse, bro. Some of you all like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? All tied up and shit, but I'm all like, man, my mom comes in, shows me my insurance. Bro, I get my own room and shit, you know what I'm saying? I get some chinitas or whatever, some different nurses, but like this time I got nurses. You know what I mean? So it's like come on, so it makes a difference if you got insurance and you don't got insurance. This one I had my own room. I had the nurses, I had everything. It was quiet, like I could call, I had visitors, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a difference if you got insurance or no.
So I know you had just mentioned about the tattoos, like, what made you want to get tattoos on your face, and did it hurt when you got them?
Tattoos, bro, it's like, after a while, you know what I'm saying? You're out here, you try to change, and shit happens or whatever, so it's like, you'll end up thinking like, man, you know what? This is who I am, this is who I'm gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So I started getting tatted up for this, started tatting up for that. One of my guys passed away, I got another tat. You know what I'm saying? I started getting tats on my head, and you know what I'm saying? And it's just the feeling of a tattoo, but like when you go through a trauma or you go through something, it's like, you self-inflict, you know what I'm saying, with the tattoos, but it's like, I don't know, it's like therapy type of shit, you know what I'm saying?
So what made you want to become an activist and a community leader?
Man, it was crazy because I started doing with the acting stuff, bro. It went from the acting stuff, from other people hitting me up, from other people like, hey, you, Jefe, check this out. They're doing this to our people. They do this to the vendors. To, hey, look, this is an injustice with these people. We started with the vendors on 43rd and Cicero, bro. They were getting kicked out by one of the aldermen. So we pulled up over there with them and backed them up. And, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you don't got unity, bro, you can't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? They started fighting with each other and, you know what I'm saying? They fell off, and you know what I'm saying? It was like, but we were out there, we were the voice. Like, I started noticing my voice out here was something, you know what I'm saying? So I started raising my voice and speaking for those that can't speak. And it's crazy because they're not gonna tell me nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, the lifestyle I lived or whatever, it's like, I bring it into the activism. So it's kind of like, you look at me and it's like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm out there and I'm not scared if they're gonna tell me something or I'm gonna get arrested or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna stand up for something, I'm gonna stand up for something, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do it regardless.
What made you want to get into acting, and how did you get your foot in the door into acting?
Man, it's crazy, bro. Like, man, I'll tell you so you're gonna chip out, bro. I was working in county, but I was a county sheriff, bro, you know what I'm saying? So my past caught up to me. They were on bullshit because I had all the Latinos cuffed. I was working Division 9. I had all the Latinos cuffed, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, like everybody thinks, oh, you're just doing this, you know what I'm saying, for clout, or you just doing. I've been doing it for a while, bro. This unity stuff, It ain't like, oh, you know what, I'll wake up right now, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it in county, bro. I was a CEO in Division 9. And man, I was doing it for all the, you know what I'm saying, for all the Latinos, bro. I was doing it for all Latinos, bro. Saints, Kings, whatever neighborhood they were from, bro. I was watching out for them, you know what I'm saying? And man, they fired me. My past got out to me. I was there 6 months, and I was locked in with everybody, with all Latinos, bro. So I started finding cell phones. I started finding two-way pages, because two-way pages was back then in like 2003, 2004. I started finding cell phones, bro. You know what I'm saying? I started finding knives, bro. Started finding kush. The officers started tripping, telling me, oh, is your gang telling you? Like, my gang, you know what I'm saying? I got guys that, you know what I'm saying, they probably weren't involved. They shot at me, and I'm over here, you know what I'm saying, helping them out, because, you know what I'm saying? So it started like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? The officers like, blue don't snitch on blue, blah, 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 blah. So they brought my past, bro. I had expunged everything. They calling my nickname, and I'm looking at them, I'm ignoring them. I'm like, what you talking about? So it was a week before my probation period was over. So I'm like, man, I'm not gonna quit. Fire me. What are you gonna fire me for? Insubordination, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, should lock me up? Then, you know what I'm saying? I was working there a year, so it's like you working there, it's like you're locked up too, because you were in there with them, you know what I'm saying? So they fired me. My first kid was on the way. My first daughter was on the way. So I'm like, these guys fired me, you know what I'm saying? That was like my career, bro, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They fired me, so I'm out here back in the streets or whatever. And then I'm finding a way to, like, hey, what am I gonna do next? So they're filming Prison Break in Juliet. So I drive to Juliet. I go over there, bullshit. Hey, man, you know what? I need a job, bro. So I'm like, man, acting pays good, let's do it. But I didn't know they didn't pay that good, it's extra. So I walk in there and I'm telling the guys I'm telling the sheriff, because they still had officers there. They were CEOs of state cops or whatever. They were still watching Juliet at the time. And they were filming in there. So I walk in there, I tell the CEO, hey, you know, I'm late for the casting. One of the actors for Let's Go to Prison. Dude calls, the guy comes, he's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean, what casting? He goes, you trying to get into acting or what? I was like, yeah, you know what, we need more guys that look like you. Here, gave me a number. Me and my cousin called that number. They called us, hey, come in, take some pictures. We took some pictures. The next day, they're like, hey, come in at 6 o'clock in the morning. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm heading over there, and we start shooting Let's Go to Prison and Prison Break, you know what I'm saying? So we start shooting back-to-back. It was Let's Go to Prison. No, it was Prison Break, and then Let's Go to Prison. So we're in Juliet back-to-back, just driving over there, you know what I'm saying? To the old jail, the old Juliet jail. And that's how I started. That's how I got into acting. And then I kind of like messed up a little bit. And I started going back when they started telling me, hey, you know what? We got speaking roles for you. Audition for this. I started doing auditions, and I was getting it. I was getting auditions, but I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing auditions every week, and I'm getting a couple of, a couple plays here, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. But then I started opening my mouth like, hey, you know what? I want to put more Latinos in here. Like, what's up? Where they at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I started noticing it, but I should have waited till I blew up more. You know what I'm saying? It kind of blackballed me, and so whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm still here.
So you never went to school for acting?
No, I never went to school for acting, but you know what I'm saying? I watched TV, and most of the time I'm like, man, I got these guys from over here. But once I got into acting, I'm like, they're taking my pictures at the auditions, and all of a sudden I see my tattoos kind of look like my tattoos on other persons. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because in LA, they use raw talent, bro. Like, they use guys like me out there, bro. Out here in Chicago, they kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't show the real streets from out here.
So earlier you mentioned about your nickname. Do you want to let the audience know how it is that you got it?
ElJefe312?
Yeah.
Man, that shit like came from, you know what I'm saying? That came from like, man, just trying to be a boss, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what you do, just try to be a boss, you know what I'm saying? And then ElJefe came from like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it has a lot of background, you know what I'm saying? But it came from, you know what I'm saying? From part of it from the streets, part of it from, you know what I'm saying, from what I do. And I didn't want to put, I had my handle, it was my IG handle. I left, and after that, it was like, everybody just started, like, people, I guess people recognized me or whatever. Hey, what's up, Jefe? What's up, Jefe? That wasn't my street name, you know what I'm saying? My street name was different. But I went with it, and we just kept it at Jefe, you know what I mean?
So you've been a correction officer. Have you ever been locked up before?
When I was a shorty, I used to get locked up all the time, you know what I'm saying?
So where you get locked up at?
23rd and Damon. 35th and Low was my favorite one. You know what I'm saying? Cicero, they give you Big Macs. Well, they used to give you Big Macs at the old police station, you know what I mean? I went over there, they locked me up some goofy shit, you know what I'm saying?
So being locked up, what is the experience like being locked up here in Chicago?
Well, being locked up in Chicago, boy, it's like, man, it depends. If you get locked up with your friends, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I don't want to sound stupid, but it's kind of fun, you know what I'm saying? But that was being locked up at the police stations. Being locked up at the county and states is a whole different story, you know what I'm saying? But hitting the police station, bro, it was nothing because you know you were going to get out, you know what I'm saying? I was a shorty. All I had to do was call my mom. My mom go pick me up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, bro, you know what I'm saying? out here talk shit. I'll do it again in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
So being a correctional officer in Cook County, Chicago, what are some things that you've seen in there that people probably wouldn't know or think of?
Bro, the things I seen in there was crazy. We're traumatized, you know what I'm saying? Like, me being on that side was already like I slipped the cracks because of my past, because of what I was. You know what I'm saying? So me being on that side, bro, was like, I was laughing every day, bro. I got a badge and I got a banger, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know what I mean? But being in there, bro, and I'm looking at my peoples, bro, getting beat up, you know what I'm saying? I see myself like, man, it could have been me. Because no matter what they tell you, bro, officers used to beat the shit out of them, bro, you know what I'm saying? They'll grab you and say, okay, so it's crazy because when you're in jail, they got the no snitch rule, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere. So the officers use that to their advantage because they know that these guys are not going to snitch. They could beat me up, and I'm just going to say, I fell from the stairs. Because then they're going to say, oh, this guy snitched on me, he's a snitch, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because they should have got like that. They should have got sued or whatever, you know what I'm saying? At least sue them for getting your ass whooped, you know what I mean? But they know that the guys are not going to snitch, so they'll beat the shit out of them. The school week, man, I saw so many ass whoopings in there, bro. It's crazy. And it comes from the top. It comes from the top. The sergeants will go there and just stand there, you know what I'm saying? The sergeants just look there, you know what I'm saying? There's young kids getting beat up, older guys getting beat up. About everybody in the mountain was getting beat up in there, you know what I'm saying? But it was from the top. The sergeant, everybody was like, I didn't get involved in that, bro. I remember one time we went to the school wing, and I grabbed one of the guys from right there from the school wing. He was a Viking from the north side. I grabbed him, bro. I grabbed him from the stairs. He flew. They threw him at me. So I grabbed him, bro, and I grabbed him and I threw him on the floor. And he's all like this. He thought I was going to hit him, and I just grabbed him. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to hit you, bro. Don't move, nigga. I'm not going to hit you, bro. And I'm like this, and I just see everybody flying, all the kids flying, bro. They used to love to beat up the school wing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I used to grab some of the guys and be like, yo, I'm not going to do shit, just, you know what I'm saying? Or when we do the searches, we used to search their rooms. I'm just right there looking at the letters, looking at the pictures. Bro, other officers were going crazy with the pillows, breaking out their shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm all like, shit you ain't got to do, because to tell you the truth, some of these guys, they might have done it, they might have not done it, you know what I'm saying? They're not prisoners, they're inmates, you know what I'm saying? So they haven't got sentenced. So everybody just, the way you look or whatever, they judge them as like, oh, these guys did it already. They're pieces of shit. But most of the time, some of these guys just got involved with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I could have got involved with the wrong people. Somebody threw a banger at me, I go to grab the banger and I had to take it. If I snitched, bro, you know what I'm saying? I would have been, oh, this guy's a snitch. So I would have had to gone in there with the banger, whatever the banger has, you know what I'm saying? I had to take it, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what these guys went through. You don't know that some of those guys ain't snitching, they ain't telling shit. And you know what I'm saying? But as a sheriff, it's like you got to see two sides. You know what I'm saying? I got to see the both sides, how they treat the people, how they think. Some of these guys, bro, some of these guys, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this, some of these sheriffs, bro, they weren't nobody out in the streets, bro. They probably got bullied. You know what I'm saying? So now they get a badge and a gun, bro, and they think they're somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, stop playing, you know what I mean? So it's crazy, bro. They get like the badge and they think they're big, you know what I'm saying?
So Cook County Jail has a bad reputation when it comes to these inmates. There's even been moments where some of these inmates have even died in there before. During those few months that you were working there, were there any people that have gotten like, inmates that gotten like stabbed or even died in?
Nah, when my first week I was in there, the deck went up, you know what I'm saying? So I walk in the deck, and it's kind of like, it kind of was a good thing and a bad thing, bro, because it kind of helped me in there with my reputation, you know what I'm saying? I walked in there, and I think it was the Latinos with the blacks that got in a fight, so they put me on the deck, you know what I'm saying? And it was in the morning, I had already did the night shift, and you're a rookie, bro, so you got to take whatever they tell you. They tell you got to stay the next day, you stay the next day. So I stood the next day, and I walked in there, and I see all the black enemies, bro, with the shoes tied, bro. They call it, when the Mexicans got it, they call it Mexicans got boots on or something like that. They said it's going to be a fight or something, you know what I'm saying? So I walk in there, I see all the black guys out there, boy, acting tough, whatever. I'm like, what the hell? So I walk in there, and I walk in, I'm telling everybody, man, everybody, whoever's going to stay out in the day, in the deck, you know what I'm saying, stay out. I got to lock the doors. So I'm walking in there, my shit's like, boo, boo, boo. They get in front of me. Nah, we ain't moving. You ain't closing the doors. And you got to stand your ground, but you can't look down. You can't pussy out, you know what I'm saying? And my heart was like, I got the keys in here, you know what I'm saying? Kids I got to stick with. That was a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? So what happens is everybody, like the Latinos or whatever, you hear the decks open. The doors, bro, the doors go crazy. So they are, when you're Division 9, they used to be able to pop the locks by themselves, you know what I'm saying? Me locking them was just because I had to do it as my job, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking count. So I walk in and they look up and they moved out the way. It's like that. And I'm like, y'all staying in, y'all staying out. But my shit is like this, waiting for them to do something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then some of the other officers used to go to sleep, bro. They didn't even looking. So I'm over here looking and I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm inside the deck, the officer gotta keep an eye on me, but I'm over here like, Some of them were old ladies, bro. So over here looking like, man. So I walk in, whatever. The Latinos pop the locks. Dudes know what's up. They move out the way, bro. And from right there, it was like, they saw me a whole different, you know what I'm saying? They saw me different. They thought I was like, they didn't know who I was plugged with, you know what I'm saying? They just like, oh, this guy's plugged with somebody in here. But it was just like, I had all their backs, they had my back, you know what I'm saying?
As an activist and a community leader, has there been, what are some events that you've been part of?
Oh, the events, man, I've been like a lot in Pilsen, a lot in Little Village, bro. I started with, one of the events I was doing was discount mall, bro. Like somebody gave me word, like, you know, hey, they sold discount mall to Novak. So I started making noise. They didn't believe me. I kept telling them on Facebook, hey, they sold discount mall. Nah, discount mall ain't going nowhere. They sold discount mall, blah, 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 blah. So I started going over there. I'm not from the neighborhood, but I'll still go over there and post, you know what I'm saying, take posters, take pictures, like say discount mall, whatever. Then the politicians got a wind of it. Then the vendors got a wind of it. Then they started making noise, you know what I'm saying? So I had told them like before, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, yo, they sold this place, they sold this spot. And boom, you know what I'm saying? I was part of that. Part of the Black and Brown Parade, you know what I'm saying? Unity, because, you know, they were going to war or whatever. I was part of with the Black community and the Brown community, they were going at it, you know what I'm saying? So me being out there from the streets, they were hitting me up. Although I think the GDs hit me up because they were getting treated in the back of the yards. I plugged them in with some guy over there. They talked it over. They were eating pizza. You know what I'm saying? Then I was involved with kind of like bringing the peace with the Black and Brown. You know what I'm saying? We had I did a video. It went viral. I did a couple marches out here. I was in LA marching. You know what I'm saying? It's like everywhere I get a chance to, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like if they need a voice, I'm there. Right now with the vendors getting robbed, I've been out there patrolling. I'll go out there by myself. I'll go out there with a couple trucks. You know what I'm saying? I'll go out there and back them up, make sure they don't get robbed. You know what I'm saying? Just go check up on them.
You want to let the audience know what is your top 3 favorite Mexican restaurants here in the city?
In Chicago, man, Carniceria Maribel, bro. Oh, and tortas, smacking, bro. You know what I'm saying? What else? Al Pastor on 63rd. I think it's 63rd and Keeler. Man, that place is fire too. You know what I'm saying? And there's another one, man. I love mole, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard for me to find mole in Chicago, mole poblano. You know what I'm saying? But I go to, man, it's right here on Blue Island, across the street from Harvest. I don't remember the name of that place. But I go there for mole, bro, you know what I'm saying? The mole be fire there. And that's what I'm saying, like one of the top places I go to.
So being from the city, like, what made you want to join a gang?
When I was a shorty, bro, you know what I'm saying? When I was in the gang, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's, man, it's crazy because, you know what I'm saying? I grew up without a dad, you know what I'm saying? So there's that missing, that factor missing already. It's not an excuse, you know what I'm saying? It's not an excuse because there was more opportunities when I was younger than there's now, you know what I'm saying? There was after school programs. There was all this Cali Christian stuff to go to, you know what I'm saying? So it's not an excuse, but you know what I'm saying? Me, you know what I'm saying, being a man, Latino, machista, you know what I'm saying? A woman can't tell me nothing. I want to listen to my mom. My mom will go to work. She'll go to work all day, you know what I'm saying? She was a county sheriff. She learned how to speak English. She went to college out here. And then, you know what I'm saying? She was going to work, bro. So me is like, I've been involved with politicians since I was a shorty. I was passing flyers for the aldermen in the north side. But I went the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like liked it that, like, man, these guys got, you know what I'm saying, jewelry. They got cars. They got girls. I want that, you know what I'm saying? Some of them will look out for me. I was a shorty, like, hey, bro, here's 20. Here's this, go do this. Hey, jump in my ride, come on. I looked older, so, you know, you're younger, you could do more stuff, you know what I'm saying? Get away with more stuff. So they'll take me to go bust windows. They'll take me to go do this. They'll take me to go do little stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of earn your points out there, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? You don't start as a gangster, but nobody does. You can't say, like, I'm a gangster, that was shorty. Nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Because you lose fear, you know what I'm saying? Once you're out here, get away with some stuff, you start losing fear. You start losing, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be on it, because, you know what I'm saying? When you start, you're on it, and then people just get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I'm going to do it, I'll get away with it. Nah, it's not like that, you know what I'm saying? But I had a lot of older guys tell me, like, influence me. Do this, do that, you know what I'm saying? Or watch out for me, and like, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, that attracted me to that life. And then from that, it's like, you become the older guy. These guys get locked up, these guys die, you know what I'm saying?
So if there's any, like, kids out there that straight up want to think like they want to join one, what advice would you tell them?
Don't do it, it's not worth it, especially in Chicago, bro. Every block is going to be your out, you know what I'm saying? You're in Pilsen, every other block is your enemy, bro. You got to watch your back, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, if you're not in a gang, you still got to watch your back in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? You wear the wrong hat, you dress the wrong way, you drive the wrong car, it's still something's going to happen. You got to be cautious, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're trying to change that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, Chicago, you gotta do better. You know what I mean? But if I was me telling the younger me to join the gang, I would be like, nah, bro, don't do it. Get your money. You know what I'm saying? Go get your money. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna lose a lot of friends. You're gonna bury a lot of friends. You're gonna get backstabbed a lot of times. You're gonna try to get set up. They try to set me up a few times. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna snitch on you if you do the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Just stay clean, do positive stuff. You wanna sell weed, do it the legal way now. You know what I'm saying? Now you could work at a dispensary, grow some shit. It's legal in Chicago. You could do a lot more things, you know what I'm saying? Get into the positive movement of the cannabis, get into the positive movement of the streets, shoot videos, music videos, fuck with everybody, you know what I'm saying? You fuck with everybody, you get known out here, they're gonna be like, man, this guy, he's cool, don't fuck with him. And when you see other people, watch out for you.
So I was going through your Instagram and I noticed that you've taken photos with actors and artists. What was the experience like working with 50 Cent? What was it that you guys were doing?
With 50 Cent, I was trying to put the rammers into his show, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're shooting in Chicago, shoot the real Chicago, you get me? Shoot what we drive out here, how we dress out here, bro. I have not seen nobody on TV with a shag, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all, but I haven't seen nobody with a shag out here, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a rammer out here.
For those who don't know what a shag is, you want to let them know what a shag is?
A shag is like a Chicago style out here, bro, you know what I'm saying? It started with certain gang out here, but it spread to the whole Chicagoland area. You know what I'm saying? A shag is like, you let your bottom hair drape, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got long hair, you fade the top, you got like it's like a big old tail, you know what I'm saying? But all the bottom back, you know what I'm saying? That's a shag out here, that's a Chicago style out here, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah.
So if someone ain't from Chicago and they come and they see somebody with that haircut, what can they expect from a person like that?
Man, 9 out of 10 is gang related, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of young kids out here with the haircut and the shag or the bookie looking shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you confuse it, boy. You could tell a shag is drape, you know what I'm saying? If he got a shag, you know what I'm saying? He tells he's not gang related, he's lying. You know what I'm saying? That's like a Chicago streets hairstyle. But there's a few kids out here that do use it, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10, they're gang related.
So I also noticed that you took a picture with JLP from Fuerza Regida and Peso Pluma a few years back. This was even before they even to the level where they are now. What is it that you guys were doing when you uploaded that photo? Man, when I went to LA, bro, I was in LA and I pulled up to JLP was shooting a music video, bro. He was shooting a music video in where the lowriders hang on 15th Street and Whittier Boulevard. So me driving a rammer out here, bro, you know what I'm saying? I hit the cut. I'm on top of the sidewalks, bro. I'm like, they're blocking the street. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go back to my spot. So I hit the tracks. I come out in the middle of fucking JLP's video, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I'm recording, so you can see a little clip. I mean, they put me on one of his videos. You can see a clip of me, one right there, recording them, you know what I'm saying? They were shooting a music video out there. You know what I mean? I talked to Jimmy, you know what I'm saying? I kept telling them, like, man, what's up? Put Chicago on the map. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was being extra, you know what I'm saying? But it's because I was trying to put Chicago on the map, bro, so I was telling him, like, man, put Chicago on the map, woo. I met JLP, I told him, man, I'm from Chicago. He's like, oh, you from Chirac, woo. I met Jimmy. Jimmy was like, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Because I already put comments on this shit, like, bro, you do a lot from LA, you know what I'm saying? But you got Latinos out here in Chicago, what's up? You know what I'm saying? With Peso Pluma, bro, since the get-go, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, because I got kind of like a record label going on a little bit. So I see him, you know what I'm saying? I go out there with some musicians from Chicago. I go to visit ElJefe312 or whatever, and he's there, bro, you know what I'm saying? Peso Pluma's there. He hasn't blown up, but he had that voice. I'm like, man, this guy got, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the voice he got, you know what I'm saying? The way he moves or whatever is like, you know what I mean? But when I met him, he was in awe. You know what I'm saying? Like he is now, you know what I'm saying? With the Chicago style, he was like a regular guy, bro. He got talent, though. He could sing, you know what I'm saying? But he got that special voice. It sounds kind of like different from everybody else. I knew he was going to blow up. I was supporting him from the beginning, bro, you know what I'm saying? Posting him and everything, woo. And then out of nowhere, motherfucker blew up, bro. Like he blew up. You know what I'm saying? He's up there with Bad Bunny. So you have a record label?
I got, Rackham Entertainment. It's like a record label, car club, truck club, non for profit, you know what I'm saying?
So during this time, you've been doing TV shows and movies. Who are just a few like actors or actresses that you have encountered with during these times?
Man, that girl from Fast and the Furious.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez. That girl from APB, Natalie Martinez. 50 Cent, the güerito from that show that he does on Stars. What you talking about?
Power?
Yeah, Power.
I can't think of his name, but yeah.
What's the crazy guy, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The güerito guy.
Yeah.
Him, I met him. I met the ones from CPD, from the Mayans. I met a lot of the Mayan guys, Emilio, Richard Cabral. There's another bald guy in there, you know what I'm saying? Joseph from over there. They're cool, you know what I'm saying? They're cool, they're mellow guys, you know what I'm saying? And they appreciate what you do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they know you're trying to come up too.
What made you want to start unifying these Chicago Latino gang members?
Because it's crazy, but when they get locked up, they unite. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why nobody brings it to them out here, like, you know what I'm saying? They're out here killing each other, but when they're inside, bro, they get along. You know what I'm saying? No matter what they do, like, most of the time, they get along. They're going to be in there for 10, 20 years, but you think they're going to keep fighting in there? You know what I'm saying? So I came with the idea that might as well do it now that they're out here and maybe prevent somebody, save somebody's life, you know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be like, nah, let that guy slide, I know him. Or, oh, that's my cousin, I don't slide. You know how it goes, you know what I'm saying, when you cool with somebody that's not from your same mob, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I try to unite different neighborhoods, bro. And, you know, when I started, we went through some bullshit, you know what I'm saying, this and that. Some of the guys want to be active still. Some of the guys kind of like their heads got big because, you know, we're riding around with like 10 rammers, 20 rammers. And, you know what I'm saying, their whole neighborhood calls them or whatever. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we all started getting along, bro. Like, you go do your thing over there. We do our thing over here. You know what I'm saying? And we see people from all, like, there's clubs from different neighborhoods. But at the same time, we got this thing, like this code, like, yo, we're not going to fuck with each other because we're doing something else. This ain't a gang. If we want to be in a gang, we stay out in the streets. There's a car club, you know what I'm saying? There's a truck club, a rammer club. We're trying to do something different. So I came with the idea, and then I started doing it. Some of the clubs were doing it already. You know what I'm saying? Other clubs started doing it, you know what I'm saying? And we started getting more noticed, like, okay, these guys are from Bryan Park, Pilsen, Little Village, Alsip, Cicero, Berwyn, Joliet, Addison, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're from everywhere, bro.
So when you guys are rolling deep in these rammers, do you guys normally get like harassed by like the police or any other gang members when they see you guys?
The gamers kind of look at us and they be like, you know, they'll throw whatever, but they won't start shit because it's too many of us, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, they know what we on, you know what I'm saying? When I'm by myself and I'm in the rammer, they might throw some shit up at me and I'll be like, hey, yeah, good job, bro, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do gangbang, like, they know what car I drive. If I ram them, they're gonna know who it is. If I do something stupid, it's gonna come back at me, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not saying I'm famous or whatever, but it's kind of like I'm a public figure a little bit, or in Chicago at least, you know what I'm saying, locally, whatever. If I do something, they know my truck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did all this acting stuff, but they know me more for Rackham and they know me more for the trucks, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't do nothing stupid, but we bump into some goofies here and there, but the real ones, no, but the real ones will be like, oh, what's up, you know what I mean? Like, we don't go through the neighborhoods, we don't try to disrespect nobody, we do what we do, boom, you know what I'm saying? If we are in somebody's neighborhood, we probably do some positive, giving out turkeys, giving out school supplies, giving out food, dispensa, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Is there any upcoming events or projects that you have coming?
We got a few, you know what I'm saying? I'm working with Indica, you know what I'm saying? This is a non-for-profit with NEI. This is their building right here, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to do some positive stuff. We're probably gonna do some boxing, you know what I'm saying? Trying to do some boxing. Events we got Dispensa, you know, 26 in Colin. We got Dispensa in Pilsen, right there by Laughlin, the Ball Gallery. We do a lot of stuff with the Ball Gallery, with the mural movement. We have, the mural movement has an event this summer where they're gonna paint the viaducts in Pilsen. So they can put a bunch of murals there. We got, I think the next one is El Día del Niño, and a 48-hour peace challenge that we do, like I did last year. We won't do it again. It's like a challenge to like, not to shoot for 48 hours. Chicago streets too, you know what I'm saying? Keep it, you know what I'm saying? Keep it peaceful at least for 48 hours. You can follow me at Rackham Entertainment 312 on TikTok, IG, ElJefe312 on IG, and then Ricky Gucci on Facebook, and then the Rackham Entertainment on Facebook too.